All right, everybody, welcome to another episode of Cobra Kai Companion. This is Peter,
This is Brianna.
and we are back for another live stream, but also another Q&A from one John Hurwitz on Twitter, and I guess Josh Heald said some words.
Josh said words.
He typed words.
He typed words.
Yeah, he answered some questions, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, he's a real person, and we need to celebrate his personness.
Okay, all right. Well, we definitely saw his face during our live stream
Hmm.
um last month.
We
So
did. He's not an AI. We can confirm he's a human.
I suppose there was definitely some CGI behind him, so he could have been part of that. We don't know, I
Nah.
guess.
Nah. This is going to be kind of a unique situation as far as Q&A goes. When time comes, when we jump into it, first of all, I've only got 50 minutes because I have to pick Mojo up from work, same as always, and you never know when Dozer might make an appearance as a, guest commentator in the background, but neither of them were very consistent in their answering
Hmm.
on their Q&As. About half the answers got retweeted, and about half of them were answered in line, including some very important ones, which absolutely have to be part of this. So please bear with us as we just kind of scroll and jump all over John Hurwitz and Josh Heald's Twitter this evening.
Right. So you guys will, just like the first one we did on the live stream, you guys are hearing it unedited, whereas the ones we usually put on the podcast are edited down, because you'll see why. It's for pacing purposes. But also, there is a bit of news that came out today, but not for Cobra Kai. It's Cobra Kai adjacent, really. I guess you can call it a sister show, Stranger Things. Hirokota, who's also a stunt coordinator on that show, who's also one of the stunt coordinators for Cobra Kai, has been nominated for an Emmy for stunt coordination.
Yes, the third nomination in a row. Last 2 years were for Cobra Kai. I did see a lot of people on Twitter today asking why there were no nominations for Cobra Kai. Well, unfortunately, guys, we did not have a season of the show eligible for Emmys this year.
Mm. Well, there you have it.
Yeah. But crush fingers for next year, because next year they will actually have a streaming platform behind them that knows what to do with the Emmys.
I mean, Stranger Things is also Netflix, so clearly they're doing something right.
Yes.
But also the little bit of that we do know of what's to come in season 3. Again, very little of it. If it lives up to that hype, I would expect some more nominations. If season 3 and the finale is the most ambitious thing we'll see on television, and more acting from everybody, including Owen Morgan having some sort of scene that's gonna make people immediately be a fan favorite for those, if he wasn't already one for some.
I think it's absolutely guaranteed that Bert will be a fan favorite. And I'm watching the slideshow go by, guys. I swear there are more people in this slideshow than Daniel.
Oh,
It just ran like 5 pictures of Daniel right in a row, and it's like, no, but apparently it's just running in the order of the file names now, instead of because there was 2 of Hawk in a row. It's supposed to randomize. Randomizer appears to be randomly not
yeah,
random.
I don't think anyone's complaining.
No, I just, well, I'm not going to complain, but,
No, of course. Well, why would you?
Right. Okay.
Uh, Anything else you could think of worth throwing out there before we, get into this? Also, our friend Drew, the Cobra Kai kid, he reached 10,000 subscriptions on YouTube last night.
Yes.
Late last night, I was there to witness it.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Chris of Watch Party was also there. So all the love and support, Drew, you deserve it. I think he only listens to like some of the interviews, but maybe if he checks out this live stream, just want to let you know, man, we were always rooting for you.
Oh yeah,
So
huge milestone,
congratulations.
well
Yeah,
deserved.
yeah.
Yay!
We're just trying to get to 1,000.
Right,
Nobody cares about a podcast. They
right,
want the
right.
cool theories and controversial stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Well, may or may not have a video that I've been working on writing today. I don't know. I don't know. I
We
got
got other things coming.
I got called out by somebody, and I feel the need.
Oh,
I feel the need.
the Need for Speed.
No,
Oh, wrong,
I
wrong quote.
I feel the need to strike back at the person who struck first. Hello, I see you in the chat. Uh, call me out, will you?
Uh-huh.
So yeah, it's just all in fun. It's just all in fun. I mean, what else are we gonna do for the next month?
Right.
Okay, so like I said, we only have about 45 minutes left here, so probably should go ahead and jump in.
Okay.
So let's bring up the. Oh, maybe I should actually get, because nobody wants to see our streaming window. All right, so first thing we're going to start with here is John Hurwitz, and this is from July 25th. Friday night quarantine Q&A.
Oh, yikes. See if I can make that larger for me.
Can you see it at all? Because my screen, like the size, it was just taking up way too much screen real estate. I can make it bigger
Yeah.
if I need to.
No, it's fine. I won't be able to look at the chat though. But
Okay. Oh, because you
yeah,
have to
it's
go
fine.
theater mode. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we're going to start with the ones, and you're going to see my mouse, guys. I apologize for that. But we're going to start with the ones that he retweeted.
Okay.
Okay. So we're going to start on this one, which means we're going to go from the bottom up. Then we'll go back to the ones he answered in line, and we'll go from the top down. We'll do his first, then we'll do Josh's. Okay?
Okay. Sounds good.
We got 45 minutes, so we're going to rock right through this.
All right.
All right, so first question. Big Boots. Jack Lee, what went into the decision of going to Netflix?
The team at Netflix was extremely passionate about acquiring the series, and it was clear they'd be amazing partners going forward. They also provide the opportunity for the greatest number of people to be able to see the show around the world. That's just makes the most business sense, and he's right. Everybody in the world will have access to it because Netflix is just easier to access, whether you have it yourself or somebody whose account you probably already use.
Right. It's definitely got the largest built-in audience already. If you want your show to become one of the biggest shows in the world, there's really no other way to do that than go to Netflix.
Yeah, available in 180 something countries.
Mm-hmm.
We covered it before.
Yep.
Hulu was only U.S. and U.S. territories. Amazon was second in most subscriptions around the world.
Yep. And Netflix just the best decision. Okay, next question from Cobra Kai Kompanion podcast. I've heard of that before.
Mm-hmm.
Happy Friday, John. With the move to Netflix and all that surrounds it and all the new possibilities for the show, what's something that really excites you? For example, the video game.
I'm most excited for the world to discover just how talented our cast is. Not just the OGs, but the younger actors as well. I want to see more merch that includes the kids. Oh, yeah. Just more merch, period, really.
Yeah, more. I mean, but, I get where he's coming from there. Probably, 90% of the merchandise that comes out is just Johnny and Daniel, and then another 10% maybe of Kreese. Talking as far as pins, action figures,
Right,
things
yeah.
like that. Some Mr. Miyagi. But we don't have anything of any of the kids yet.
Right. Maybe some Funko Pops.
I'd love some Funko Pops of the kids.
NECA action figures.
Yes. There's the whole nine, everything. Get the kids out there, because they're freaking amazing. By the way, I love the way you name dropped the video game trying to get him to confirm that that's coming, and he ignored it.
Well, what?
Example, the video game. They haven't
Right.
actually talked about the video game yet.
I gotcha.
That was
Okay.
just the video that the game distributor said that that's coming.
Okay.
And then there's the people on Facebook breaking NDAs all over the place. And anyway,
If that even exists for them.
right,
If
talk about the
them exist.
voice work and things like that on it. Okay, so next question is from Matt the Unicorn, apparently. Matt McGeehan 622. I mean, what's there to know then? I guess, do you know what the trailer even looks like?
I have not seen the trailer yet, but I will see something soon. And I don't know if it's going to come up, but I believe this week, right? He's supposed to see a first pass.
He said on Facebook that they were supposed to see the first pass of the trailer this week. Yes.
Okay.
Um,
Which is what? What does that mean for those that don't know?
the first pass, the rough draft.
Yep.
Um,
So that doesn't mean the first trailer or the first teaser.
right. No, it means Netflix's first. Hey, it's when you're doing design, when you're doing marketing, things like that. You put together your first pass, your rough draft. You take it to the client, and the client, I like this, or I don't like this, or hey, how they get input and things like that. So, but to anyone who didn't follow the drama from this weekend, we had someone on Facebook who was showing up in all the Cobra Kai groups except ours, and claiming that the trailer was absolutely dropping on Sunday night. It absolutely was. He had a buddy of someone who was related to someone on the crew. This whole big convoluted story that he was telling. And two people who absolutely 100% for sure knew that he was full of crap both showed up and basically told him that he was full of crap. One being Rick, who is Billy and Marty and Sholo and Jacob and a whole bunch of the other cast members' manager, and John Hurwitz. And one thing that none of them ever do is get involved in like the fandom drama, right? They like sit back and watch it, but they don't like get involved in it.
Yeah.
And he pops up and he's like, well, the trailer coming out Sunday is news to me. I haven't seen it yet. Which is when he said that he was seeing it this week. And it just killed the guy he was a Rickroll. He was trying to get people to join his Facebook group, and it was a giant Rickroll, and it was supposed to be this joke. But when John Hurwitz calls you out on your BS and you call him a liar, the joke is no longer funny.
Right.
Just for future reference for anybody who might care. Don't do that. Plus, it really, really ticks the fandom off. Okay. Next question from Edwin Espinoza. You said once season 3 should be released before the end of summer. Is that still going to happen?
I don't know. Let's see. I don't know the season 3 release date. When I said I expected it to be released by end of summer, that's what I was being told at the time. But then COVID delayed things a bit, and after we moved to Netflix, it became a whole new ball game.
Yes. Yeah.
So again, he has said that anything he puts out, he's not lying. It's just what he knows at the moment.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. I mean, they're not lying to us. They're not misleading us. They're not, stringing us along or any of the nonsense accusations I've seen leveled at them. They're telling us what they can tell us when it's available, and it is, what is true at that moment in time. Whether or not it stays true, they have no control over. Next question, John and Al Kaplan, at John and Al. Did you write Harold and Kumar knowing you could get Neil Patrick Harris? If not, was Ralph Macchio on your wish list of alternates?
We did not know we'd get Neil Patrick Harris when we wrote him into Harold and Kumar, but we were convinced he was the type of guy who'd recognize a comedic opportunity. Ralph Macchio was actually our second choice.
That, I mean, for Neil Patrick Harris was phenomenal, and I cannot even imagine anyone else playing that particular role in that movie.
Right.
But having seen the fictional Ralph Macchio on Entourage, and in He's Way More Famous Than You, How I Met Your Mother, fictional Ralph Macchio is a giant womanizing douchebag, and I think he would have been hilarious.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it would have worked out either way.
And I like how Josh Hill, who writes Hot Tub Time Machine, incorporates Billy Zabka in that. And then here's John and Hayden, with Ralph Macchio as their second choice behind NPH.
Right, right. And then the universe converges and they all come together and we get this brilliant series.
Mm-hmm.
Next question, Mark Farrell. Any plans for a fourth season yet?
We're always talking with the writers about ideas for future seasons, but nothing official to report at this time.
Yes. So, people who were out there claiming that seasons 4, 5, and 6 have already been written, that was also news to John Hurwitz. Although it was very welcome news because, his job just got a whole lot easier.
Right. I remember that tweet, yeah.
Yeah, no, they have not been written yet, guys. Next question, Andrew Patterson. Since you mentioned that you, Josh, and Hayden would love to make Back to the Future 4, if Zemeckis and Gale gave you permission, could you please share with us what your Back to the Future 4 would be about?
No, but I will say we have thoughts for both movies and TV.
There we go. I mean, what else can they say? There's...
because, nothing's in the works, so...
Right.
Yeah. And for those that don't know, both Bob's, Zemeckis, and Gale have said over their dead body. So it would have to be permission, or we wait for them to die. So.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah, I mean, hey, those are the two options.
That's awful. S.E. Hinton said the same thing about The Outsiders.
Yeah.
But I don't want her to die, but I also don't want anybody else to ever touch The Outsiders because it's perfect the way it is.
Same with Back to the Future. I don't want either of those two to die, and I don't want, Well, I'll leave it right there.
Yeah. All right. So from Kira Bay at Queen Cobra, Happy Friday. If the LaRussos were to get a pet, what kind of pet would they have? Would they buy or adopt? Also, if Johnny had a pet, what would it be?
The LaRussos would have a hypoallergenic dog that they got from a breeder. Johnny would probably have a junkyard dog or an eagle if he knew how to get one.
Wouldn't you think Johnny would have a snake?
I don't know. He's got that poster and he loves Iron Eagle.
Yeah. He's definitely not a cat person.
No, I don't see him being a cat person.
No, unless it was on accident and then he just all of a sudden completely fell in love with this cat, right?
Yeah.
There's some character development for you. I agree with the hypoallergenic dog from the dog breeder.
Is that what John's dog is? Do we know anything about his dog?
I know nothing about Martini Baguette except that she is
there we go.
freaking adorable.
Pretty cute.
And very fluffy. So I'm going to assume not hypoallergenic because fluffy.
Okay.
Snakes are badass, but kind of anticlimactic as a pet. As a pet, Watch Party says. Yeah, little too on the nose, maybe.
That too. Yeah.
Okay, so next question, Brian Tan. If there was one thing you would change, include or omit from the original trilogy of films, what would it be?
I'd probably change the circumstances of Daniel and Allie's breakup.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes! Totally on board with that idea. Next from Carrie at Switch 842. Hi, Carrie! With all the craziness that has happened since Cobra Kai dropped, what is one thing you would put in your mental scrapbook?
Not to say I didn't already appreciate it, but being in quarantine has made me realize just how much I enjoy in-person collaboration with our cast and crew. It's all in my mental scrapbook. I miss everyone so much and can't wait to be back at it. I can't even imagine.
Oh, yeah. No, I can't either. I mean, I'm not a big, socially active people person. Never really have been. I've been working from home for the last, year and a half. So when quarantine hit to me, it was like, okay, it's Monday.
Right. I mean, I'm distancing from my family, but I get to go see them almost every day.
Yeah. Um, it's just if you were surrounded by people all the time, if I was still, working out in the public and things like that, and that massive change, um, I can imagine that it was incredibly difficult for
Oh,
everyone that was
sure.
in that situation. So
And with everyone we spoke with on our interviews, it just sounds they continue to say how tight everybody is and how, everyone's like family and all that. So I get it.
yeah, yeah, very much so. Next question from Santino. Were you guys ever worried about fan loss of interest due to the long delay or switching of platforms?
I can't worry about things that are out of my control. COVID and the in what's the word here?
Intricacies.
Intricacies of business made our move to Netflix take longer than we all would have liked. But it's for the best in the end. Those who choose not to watch season 3 as a result will be missing out. Yeah.
Those who claim they're not watching season 3 because it took too long are lying.
I should put like a $5 bill in a jar anytime I see that. I would have a lot of money by the time season 3 comes around.
Right. Well, I mean, you do have the disgruntled fans on Twitter and on Facebook, and yeah, we've seen them. But then you also have, the people are making a bigger deal of it than it actually is. It's not as prevalent a mindset as some people would have you believe it is. Right? I mean, like on Drew's watch party today for the Karate Kid Part 3. Someone said something about, well, Julie Pierce has to come back because of the rumor that she's the rightful owner of Miyagi-Do, and I'm like, where did that even come from? That's not a rumor. Literally no one has ever said that. But it's like you stick the word rumor in front of or after something, and suddenly people start, taking it at face value, and oh my God, this must really be. But the truth is, it doesn't exist anywhere than in the mind of the person who said it.
Right. Do you hear the new rumor that Tori is actually Allie's mom?
No, but I
Yeah.
have heard that she is Kreese's grandmother.
Oh, you know what? I believe that more.
Right, right.
Yeah.
As well as, Kumiko's second cousin first, once removed.
Yes.
Yeah.
And next door neighbor of Freddie Fernandez's aunt.
Oh yeah, who actually owns the meatpacking plant. See, it all makes
There you
sense,
go.
guys.
See?
Oh, Tori is Daniel. Yep. Tori is Daniel. Oh my God. Now it all makes sense.
That makes so much sense. I don't know why. It was right there in front of us.
Oh, watch party. Oh, you kill me. Okay. All right. So, next question. This is the last one of the retweets before we
Okay.
jump to the inlines from Wuko. During the filming of Cobra Kai season 1 and 2, what was your favorite moment on set?
Too many favorite moments to make a few, right? To make a few. Johnny watching Iron Eagle on day 1. Filming Daniel and Robbie in nature on my 40th birthday. The wonder in the school fight, the tournament, and Zakarian scenes. They really love that Iron Eagle scene.
Yeah.
They really, really do.
Well, it's just so. It was so early on in the series, and it just became so quintessentially Johnny.
Okay.
So yeah, I could definitely see that. And that was that. Plus, that was their first day of filming. I'm assuming because he says on day 1. So, if that's the
Right.
first scene they film, that's definitely going to be the one that sticks in their head.
I think we've been doing so many of these Q&A recaps. I believe this is going to be like the 17th one. The one question that I'm always going to remember that he responded to was when I asked him about filming that moment when Johnny goes to back to the parking lot and sees, himself being choked out by Kreese, and at that time, before season 2, obviously, John said that was like the best night of any production he's been a part of.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds so cliche. It sounds so trite. You always remember your first whatever, right?
Right. Yeah.
I will always remember the first question of mine he answered. So,
Yeah.
um,
Because I think I remember I even phrased my tweet like it gave me like a Back to the Future 2 vibe or feel or
oh
something, and that's very
yeah,
very much what it was. Yeah.
yeah, and he indulged my giant car nerdness.
We remember.
Yes. Okay, so now jumping to the inline questions, and this is where you're going to see my mouse moving across the screen. Get it off as soon as I can. But there are actually some pretty important answers in here. Question from Haroon A. Hey, John, will there be changes to the first 2 seasons, such as more languages or overall scenes that couldn't be used on YouTube? I hope it continues this tone for the rest of the season. I'm a teen who loves the show and doesn't want a bunch of language or sexuality in the show.
We are not making changes to the first 2 seasons and plan to keep the same tone going forward.
Right, and let's just reinforce this. Just over and over and over. Stop saying Netflix is going to change the tone of the show. It's not.
I would imagine that during negotiations that was very important, that you don't mess with what's already been out there.
I'm just reading the chat and I'm looking at our mods bad mouthing us in there.
Oh, what are they saying?
We give the worst notices. Apparently, we give the worst heads up when we're going live and actually require mods to show up and do their jobs.
Well, I mean, this isn't the trivia where there's going to be a lot of people.
Right.
Honestly, we're surprised if like 10 people show up for this. This is just the Q&As, and also the Q&A stuff is hard to plan for. A lot of the live streams are hard to plan for.
Yeah, because a lot of the live streams are, hey, I just got off work. You want to go live in 10 minutes? Sure.
Yeah. I mean, give me some credit. It's like 32 minutes.
Tonight it was, yeah, because it was like 8:37 or so, 8:27. He's like, hey, you want to go live at 9? Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Yes, I love you guys too. I love
Again,
you, Carrie,
I'm not
and
seeing
I love
anything
you,
because I have.
Mike.
I'll scroll down to look at it real quick here.
It's Carrie and
Wow.
Mike.
These texts are very big. See, what size do I have it at? I have it at 175.
That
Holy
would be
cow.
why they're so freaking big.
Yeah, but that's the only way I'm able to read the questions.
Right.
All right, let's move it along.
All right, so moving along, scrolling to
And also, like, it's safe to say that if we didn't warn the mods, you guys didn't have to really jump in to moderate.
Right, but we love you, so thank you for showing up.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Oh, Mike actually woke up and went, oh crap, we're live. Whoops. Okay, Setham Dolaj, or...
Bless you.
I completely pronounced that wrong, I'm sure. Did any big names audition for the roles of Miguel, Sam, Robbie, etc.? Could you tell us who?
No super big names.
Yeah. But that's,
Big names adjacent.
Really?
I don't know. I mean,
I'm like, what do you know that I don't know?
I don't know. I mean, in terms of, I mean, I know that this person does not list this character, but we know another cast member who did audition for the role of Tori, but got a different role instead.
Oh, well, yeah, that's true. That's true.
May end up on one of our upcoming videos.
Very well made. Mate? Okay.
What?
I don't know.
You okay?
I'm good. Okay,
Should I send one of the mods over there to check on you?
This is a big... Yeah, I got it. This is a big one. This is a very big one. From Ben Rudin. Was Tori whom Kreese referred to when he said Nichols?
Yes.
Yes! Tori's last name is not Schwarber.
I think Nichols means Schwarber in Sweden.
Get out!
Tori is Daniel.
Tori is Daniel. So, is Nickel? Oh, you know what? Nichols might be Scandinavian for LaRusso.
It could be.
What even
N
are we
is
doing?
also the 17th letter of the alphabet.
Oh, quit. And red is the color, and it'll be no. Um, Nichols, Silver. This is Watch Party, and he's like Nichols, the the coin equals Silver. She's Terry Silver's daughter. People are still reaching,
Nichols backward
grasping.
is Slokin.
Well, maybe she's her stepdaughter, and that's her maiden name, or what? What,
That's just way
guys?
too much. That is way too much.
Yeah.
At that point, they're insulting the fans.
Insulting the fans, insulting the writers. It's like, and it's the Watch Party. He picked that up and he started writing his episode. What'd you say, Chris? Sometime in the middle of June. Right around in there. I don't know when it first occurred to me. I know that we recorded our episode of the podcast where I mentioned it on July 10th. His video about it came out on the 14th. Our podcast came out on the 15th. So, the middle of last summer, Watch Party and you and I and Tom at the time were all saying Terry's name is Nichols or Mick Nichols because
Tori.
yeah. That
You said Terry.
Oh, no, I said Tori.
I heard
Tori's
Terry.
name is Nichols.
We'll
We've been
refer to the
saying that
chat.
for a year.
Yes. But also, guys, watch the damn show with subtitles on.
Right. It's right there. Whether you pick it up with your hearing or you pick it up with your eyeballs. It's right there. There's her name.
And John has said at least once in one of these Q&As before that they have dropped enough clues on the show to reveal who she was.
Right. Including that she could not possibly be a doctor's daughter with the origin story that she gives. But this is a big one. This is and people are still ignoring it, and it's just driving me absolutely insane.
They don't have Twitter.
Mike says Tori is Allie's father's cousin's nephew's brother's former roommate.
Isn't that Lone Star?
Yes.
I might watch that tonight. Actually, I just watched that like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Oh, God, I love it. Okay, so moving on. Next question from Shane Alger. John, nursing a mild hangover here as we speak, and to think I have a family 60th to attend tonight. Anyway, congrats, first of all. Secondly, you said you had a role for Dutch and a future role for Tommy before Rob passed. What roles may they have been? Thanks.
Dutch would have joined the OG Cobras on their adventure. He would have had a past in jail instead of still being there. As for Tommy, we would have had him speak to Johnny in a dream.
That just makes me want to cry.
Yeah, and that's in line with what they had in mind also for when Johnny watched himself being choked out in the parking lot. They were considering, Johnny seeing that in the ether too, and not just the way he saw it in Ace Degenerate.
Right.
That would have been really interesting. I mean,
Yeah.
because then it would have just looked like a dream.
Right. And I think, plus in a drunken stupor, you kind of put that whole mist thing around it. It's just like Daniel and his visions of Mr. Miyagi. They've got room to play with, the scene of Mr. Miyagi doing the renovations and everything to the garden. Are we intended to believe that we're just seeing the past, or is Daniel seeing this in his head?
Mm-hmm.
Because it had that kind of misty, dreamlike quality to it. And then
the music helped.
Right. And then they pull the camera back and there's Daniel standing in the exact same spot where he would have been standing to see that from that perspective, I love the way they play with that.
Well, at that moment, it's like, that scene, that episode opens up with the, you think it's renovations or repainting the fence and all of that. And then the cut to Daniel standing there, and then we're reminded what just happened at the end of episode 5.
Right.
Mm,
Right. I mean,
what a kick in
they
the nuts.
can take us so far into Johnny and Daniel's heads, just because they can and because they're brilliant at it.
Head
Um,
games.
yes, very much so. And is
Hmm.
anything in those two men's heads actually real? Neither of them
Hmm.
remember what really happened,
Well,
apparently.
clearly, right.
So, um, yeah.
Daniel got pushed off a cliff. Yeah.
And it had a big fight with Mr. Miyagi that never happened. I mean, and we're not
Yeah.
even going to get into Johnny not remembering half of the first movie at all.
Well, because he was in half of the movie.
Right. Moving on. Non-binary gal Mira. Is there a chance we will see more girls doing karate and being badass?
Where are we at?
Right in the
Ah, yeah.
middle.
Yes.
Yeah. Good.
That's exciting.
Yes. Always. I'm here for some girls kicking ass. Um,
Yeah.
I kind of want
I would.
the wives, I'm gonna call them, even though Carmen and Johnny are at the moment broken up. Um,
Right.
I want to see them get in there and just like seriously start kicking ass. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you really believe that Daniel and Amanda only went in the dojo before Anthony, or did he actually teach her? Did
Oh,
Daniel?
sorry.
You know?
I got distracted. I just looked up Twitter real quick, and Josh Hill liked my tweet about right. Josh Hill's Q&A adjacent words were definitely typed.
Oh, well, then we need to hurry up because we've got 15 minutes. And if we don't get Josh's words on here, he'll be so disappointed.
Right. We
Okay.
might get more words.
Yeah, we'll get more words. They'll be bad words. Okay, next question. Watch Party. Heard of this guy? Will seasons 1 and 2 on Netflix be identical to the show on YouTube other than the logo and end credits?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very short answers, this guy.
Well, there were a lot of people that were saying that, they were cutting scenes out. And then there were people saying, oh, well, I watched it on YouTube and there's scenes missing from YouTube. And I'm like, dude, I just watched it yesterday. Believe me, there's nothing missing. And they have not cut anything out of the YouTube. They are not cutting anything out on Netflix. Everybody's going to watch the exact same show we watched. So quit doing that nonsense.
I think somebody had mentioned like there was something added. What it most likely is, you never caught it before, and upon a rewatch, probably your second time, you caught something new.
Right, right. Yeah, like you'll hear dialogue differently certain ways and things like that. But nothing's changed. Believe me, nothing's changed. Next question. Cobra Kai kids. I've seen a lot of people interpret Tommy's "it's in here now" line as meaning he has brain cancer. I take it to mean that his physical fight with an unspecified cancer is over and his last battle is mental, except in the end, which is right.
We meant to imply brain cancer, but he was also accepting the end.
I kind of love the last fight. The last fight was taking place. In his mind, that was the part that he had left. I never picked up that interpretation. I always thought that he meant it had metastasized into his brain.
Hmm.
Um, I didn't even think of an alternate um, interpretation of that. Okay, we're going to skip that one because it's about American Reunion, and we're going to go to Nana Team La Russo. Hi, have you guys ever thought of Moon's sexuality? Is she bi or pan? As a queer kid, I was really happy to see her and her girlfriend.
As far as we know, she's bi. Glad you enjoyed the character. We do too. So I wonder if, see, episode 9, that was written by Michael Jonathan. Wait, yeah, Michael Jonathan Smith.
Yeah, yeah, Michael
Right,
Smith wrote that.
Michael Smith. I know he's got 3 names.
Yeah.
So that would be a question for him, possibly.
Oh, yeah, definitely, because he would be the one that would know if he's going to take it further.
Right.
Okay, so next question, and I believe this will be the last one of John's. Matt Rappaport. Cool. How many original cast members from all the Karate Kid movies in total have you talked to about being on Cobra Kai? Stop moving the screen, Brie. That's just a total number, not a spoiler, right? Do you like getting meta in your writing? And what old movies do you bring up to William and Ralph on set?
Not exactly a spoiler, but spoilery enough that I can't answer. I do like writing meta stuff as long as it doesn't take you out of the reality of the world we're in. And I talk with Billy about just one of the guys a lot. For Ralph, Karate Kid 3.
Yeah, and I mean, he does. They do have the meta references, my whole thing with the fourth wall says what, like Sam reading a book that her father's actor played the main character of in I mean, and you get into it and it gets very, or Robbie being named after an actor that his karate teacher's portrayer knew and worked with, that kind of thing. And it's really awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then there's the Peter Cetera Chicago, all of that. Okay, we got 10 minutes. Let's see how far we can get. Josh actually didn't, he was waiting for a small child to wake up from a nap. So he didn't have very long. But we will do his inline first, and then we'll go to his retweets. No, do it the other way. Do the retweets and then the inline. Okay.
Right, just like we did this one.
Just like we did. Oh, and look here. Very first question, this Cobra Kai Kompanion podcast. Hi, Josh. Do you recall any jokes that you really like from either of the first seasons that were not used?
If it's a winner, it almost always makes the show. If it's a winner without a home, we carry the card with us to the next season and keep it in our back pockets for a better moment. Can't think of anything that flat out got cut forever and ever.
So that means that they have written a bunch of really hilarious jokes that have not shown up on screen just yet. That still might. So they're not going to tell us.
Right. Yeah.
Which is perfectly valid.
Yeah. Right.
Okay. Next is from Helen Irving Dalsin. Hello, Helen. If Cobra Kai was a continuation after the Karate Kid movies, and I think she's meaning immediately after, which 80s and 90s actors do you think you would have used?
Entire cast of Mr. Belvedere would be the dream. Small wonder as a fallback position. Is that right?
Yes.
Fallback position. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Is that an actual position? Is that baseball? Fallback position. What is that?
No, that meant that if they couldn't get the entire cast of Mr. Belvedere, that they would have
Just
taken the
backup.
cast of Small Wonder as a backup. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And
Josh is like Doc Brown. He says the absolute most for the simplest replies. Small wonder as a fallback position.
He
Look,
says
I don't read a lot, and
yeah, Mike
Layman
says he
terms.
loved Small Wonder. I loved Small Wonder. I think that
Is that the one with the robot?
yes, the little girl in the red and white frilly
Never
dress.
seen it.
Oh my god, it's so good.
I know what it is.
It was so good. Josh says a lot of words when he speaks.
He does.
He really does. Next question from Jack at JL Productions. What was the easiest and hardest episode to write in all of Cobra Kai?
The series premiere was both the easiest and the hardest, I think. We had talked about it and poured over the minutia for almost a year, but then it was time for the three of us to sit down and write together for the first time and figure out what would become our process.
Those are good words. That is a
I'm still trying to
fantastic
figure
answer.
out some of those words. Yeah.
Basically, he said that it was the easiest because they had
kidding.
all those years.
Right.
But the hardest because they hadn't exactly figured out how they were going to do it yet.
That reminds me of me trying to write something.
Yeah. Still waiting. Anyway, Philip Molina. Hey, Josh, when you break a story, do you think of a killer ending and work your way backward, or start at the beginning and see where it takes you?
With very few exceptions, we almost always work forward. With Take a Right for, episode 206, we knew what that last shot would be, but didn't really have to reverse engineer the story to get there. How weird and terrible would it be? They're writing that, and they're like, "Oh, what should we do for the last shot?" I don't know. Put put them in a body bag, maybe. Hey, that sounds good.
Yeah, no, that last scene, that final scene is about as organic as you could possibly get. I mean, there's really, if you know you're going to be doing that with the character, there's really no other way to do it. You know,
Hmm.
it was painful and funny and dark and awful and screw your body bag and screw that song.
Yeah, I sat there shaking my head, and I might have even tweeted out, "I can't believe they actually did it," or something.
Right.
Maybe.
But still perfect, you know.
Yeah. Sure.
And from Rick, our Jersey Devil, recreating the music video for Stay by Lisa Loeb, seen in how Hot Tub Time Machine 2 was perfection. Since you seem to be into recreating music videos, I'm going to guess it was your idea to create the White Snake scene in Cobra Kai. Am I right or wrong? Whose idea was it?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Stay was all me in the script for sure. With Whitesnake, I honestly can't remember who started that conversation, so I'll take partial credit. And I know that it was like a last minute addition. I don't know how last minute, but it was definitely a surprise when they told Vanessa Rubio that that was being shot. I mean, she shares a story in one of our interviews with her, and she said that her response was like, "Oh, yeah, funny joke." That was kind of her reaction to that, and like, "Oh, it's a thing." So they're really doing it. So I wonder how much notice she was actually given. I feel like I asked her, but I don't remember.
I don't either. But then, she shows up and they're actually doing it, and she's doing Tawny Katane on the, kitchen table in Johnny's apartment. So,
Might
yeah.
have been the inspiration for the second part of my video for the content creators, collaboration bid that we did, downing down, downing, down, downing that banquet.
There you go.
Yeah, I got words too.
You do. All right, next question, because I've got 5 minutes and the kid literally just texted me.
Okay.
From Mike P., tweeting from the Cobra Kai Wisdom account. If you do not follow him on Instagram, do so now. He's freaking hilarious. Are you ready for a month from now when the entire world knows what we know? Do you have a speech prepared?
Can I plagiarize Bill Pullman's speech from Independence Day?
Um, to which Mike said, I'm going to expand it and show it because it's hilarious.
Okay. And again,
Absolutely.
this is why you need to follow Mike on his Instagram account,
Yes.
Cobra Kai Wisdom.
Yes, absolutely. Or Bill Pullman's "We're doing it for a shitload of money" speech from Spaceballs. Totally your choice.
Oh, yeah. See, there's a second Spaceballs reference this episode.
Yes, yes,
Simpatico, my friend. Is that
yes,
the right word?
yes.
Okay, all right.
Yep, we're all thinking Spaceballs. All right,
Spaceballs, the live stream.
Cobra Kai dad, Kevin Gregory, which is his middle name, I think.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, he
Like,
got rid of the
that's not
last name.
Kevin's last name. Um, what
Is there another
types?
Kevin Cobra Kai dad?
Uh, Not that I know of.
It's KG, not Casey.
What types of activities have kept you occupied during COVID? Also, best wishes to you and your family.
I've become an
Artisanal.
art artisanal bartender with no regular patrons other than myself, and started rowing on a Concept 2 rower, which is a counterproductive. Hey, counterproductive to the bartending.
Sorry.
Best wishes to you and yours too. Sorry, my
I
words are
bumped my
blurry, and then you're
mouse.
scrolling at the same
I
time.
bumped
So
my mouse and the whole screen went whoop. Okay, so, yep, he's a bartender and he's got a rowing machine. And he shaved the
yeah,
mustache that he
yeah.
sometimes grows.
But you know what? That picture's still out there.
It is. And there was a small discussion about bagels. And this is his last one. And
Okay.
it's a good one to end on.
All
How
right.
cool, on a scale from meh to cool as hell, is William Zapka in real life?
His cool factor has an 11 on the dial. Sometimes you should meet your heroes.
I will second that. I will third that. I will sit here all day and say, if you ever have a chance to meet Billy Zabka, Ralph Macchio, Martin Cove. Take it. They will not disappoint you. They are amazing human beings.
They really are.
And you will kick yourself in the head for the rest of your life if you do not take the opportunity if you're given.
At this point, Josh is the only one I've never met in person.
Shut up.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, we get, that last part. Sometimes you should meet your heroes. It's like, well, I met, John and Hayden. Now I need to meet Josh.
Yeah. Uh-huh. You've met my hero, asshole.
Look, they're just closer to me. What can I say?
Yeah, as far as you all live on the West Coast.
But also, maybe you just need to get on a plane more often.
I'm not getting on a plane right now. Are you insane?
Well, of course not right now. I don't know if they'll even come out to see you right now. You gotta wait. Yeah.
Why is everyone yelling Hayden's name? Oh, for God's sake!
Is he in the group?
Yes.
Chat? Uh-oh. that means we should go.
Yeah, literally, I've got to go pick my kid up from work.
Well, we read John's Q&As, we read Josh's words, and now Hayden's scaring everyone off.
Right.
So
I
want to thank
have,
everyone.
Absolutely, we would have read Hayden's, but he didn't.
We still have that recorded episode that I should get to
from January,
whenever it was. I wonder how relevant or not. I'm sure. I mean, that's the one where he was like, ask me anything, I'll tell the truth.
That's the one where someone asked him what someone's name was, and he said February.
Sounds about right.
It wasn't. He actually did.
No. I'm agreeing.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So everyone, thank you for joining in on such short notice. Brihana, do you got anything to pimp out?
Not at the moment.
Coming up?
I am honestly writing a script. Watch Party inspired me. He attacked me and called me out all over the place is what he did. So I am writing a script about my very own Allie video.
Hayden really jumped in and just said, that's it?
Well, he hasn't said anything since then.
Right. But that's how he
he literally jumped in and screamed at everyone and left. So, but yeah, that'll be coming out in the next few days. Still haven't decided what to do with the 72 hours of footage of me making the black and white inverted posters. And that's about it. Oh, and I'm gonna do some more of the Netflix the Netflix fake posters.
Right.
For some with the kids and things like that. So keep an eye out for all that.
All right. For those that like the videos, I am coming up with a list of, for those that listen to our podcast, this is really going to be, kind of old news for you, but really it's for those that, don't listen to the show. But we're working on we're kind of throwing out the number 10 out there. So top 10 things you don't know about, some of the characters from Cobra Kai seasons 1 and 2. And they're just going to be stuff we're taking straight from our interviews. So for those that already listened to those, it's nothing new. But hopefully it's something to kind of get people excited for, especially the newer fans of Cobra Kai. I'm still writing a Miyagi video myself. So I'm throwing that out there. So that way people can maybe hold me accountable and be like, hey, how long have you been writing this? And just to tease that a little bit, I try to kind of talk a little bit about the psyche of Mr. Miyagi and maybe what it was like for him during his time in service during the war. I invited on my somebody that I served under when I was in the Army, and we go over all of his ribbons and patches and talk about what could have happened for him to earn these ribbons and medals and things like that. So once I finish that up, it's it'll be up. I think that's it. That's enough teasing for now. Brihana's got to go. So again, thanks everyone for tuning in and your continued support. We'll catch you guys next time.
Bye everybody.